A fishing reel is a cylindrical device attached to a fishing rod used in winding and stowing line. Modern fishing reels usually have fittings aiding in casting for distance and accuracy, as well as retrieving line. Fishing reels are traditionally used in the recreational sport of angling and competitive casting. They are typically attached to a fishing rod, though some specialized reels are mounted directly to boat gunwales or transoms. The earliest known illustration of a fishing reel is from Chinese paintings and records beginning about 1195 AD. Fishing reels first appeared in England around 1650 AD, and by the 1760s, London tackle shops were advertising multiplying a gear-retrieved reels. The first popular American fishing reel appeared in the U.S. around 1820. History. In literary records, the earliest evidence of the fishing reel comes from a 4th century AD work entitled Lives of Famous Immortals. The earliest known depiction of a fishing reel comes from a southern song painting done in 1195 by Ma Yuan called Angler on a Wintry Lake, showing a man sitting on a small sampan boat while casting out his fishing line. Another fishing reel was featured in a painting by Wu Zhen. The book Tianzhu, printed sometime between 1208 and 1224, features two different woodblock print illustrations of fishing reels being used. An Armenian parchment gospel of the 13th century shows a reel. The Shanghai Tuhui, a Chinese encyclopedia published in 1609, features the next known picture of a fishing reel and vividly shows the windlass pulley of the device. These 5 pictures mentioned are the only ones which feature fishing reels before the year 1651. The first English book on fishing is A Treatise of Fishing with an Angle in 1496. However, the book did not mention a reel. A primitive reel was first cited in the book The Art of Angling, 1651. Development fishing reels first appeared in England around 1650, a time of growing interest in fly fishing. The fishing industry became commercialized in the 18th century, with rods and tackle being sold at the haberdasher's store. After the Great Fire of London in 1666, artisans moved to Redditch, which became a center of production of fishing-related products from the 1730s. Onesimus Eustaceson established his trading shop in 1761, and his establishment remained as a market leader for the next century. He received a royal warrant and became the official supplier of fishing tackle to 3 successive monarchs starting with King George IV. Over this period, some have credited Onesimus with the invention of the fishing reel. He was certainly the first to advertise its sale. Early multiplying reels were wide and had a small diameter, and the gears, made of brass, are often wore down after extensive use. His earliest advertisement in the form of a trading card date from 1768 and was entitled To All Lovers of Angling. A full list of the tackles he sold included artificial flies, and the best sort of multiplying brass winches, both stop and plain. The commercialization of the industry came at a time of expanded interest in fishing as a recreational hobby for members of the aristocracy. Modern reel design had begun in England during the latter part of the 18th century, and the predominant model in use was known as the Nottingham reel. The reel was a wide drum which spooled out freely, and was ideal for allowing the bait to drift a long way out with the current. Geared multiplying reels never successfully caught on in Britain, but had more success in the United States, where similar models were modified by George Snyder of Kentucky into his bait casting reel. The first American-made design in 1810 Tackle design began to improve from the 1880s. The introduction of new woods to the manufacture of fly rods made it possible to cast flies into the wind on silk lines, instead of horsehair. These lines allowed for a much greater casting distance. A negative consequence of this was that it became easy for the much longer line to get into a tangle. This problem spurred the invention of the regulator to evenly spool the line out and prevent tangling. The American Charles A. Orvis designed and distributed a novel reel and fly design in 1874, described by reel historian Jim Brown as the benchmark of American reel design, and the first fully modern fly reel. The founding of the Orvis Company helped institutionalize fly fishing by supplying angling equipment via the circulation of his tackle catalogs, distributed to a small but devoted customer list. Albert Illingworth, 1st Baron Illingworth, a textiles magnate, patented the modern form of fixed-spool spinning reel in 1905. When casting Illingworth's reel design, the line was drawn off the leading edge of the spool, but was restrained and rewound by a line picker, a device which orbits around the stationary spool. Because the line did not have to pull against a rotating spool, much lighter lures could be cast than with conventional reels.